Good afternoon, James, and welcome back to another Monday update. As you can see, I've got some notes here. The opening of a good show, apparently, is the title. I underline good because I want it to be good. But I have some stuff here is like introduce a problem, introduce the hero, set up the context. So introduce the problem is kind of like the cold open. A lot of TV shows do it. Movies do it. Only one I'm thinking of. I mean, there's a lot of movies that probably do it, and for some reason, the only one I'm thinking off the top of my head is Wrong Turn, which is like a cheesy horror film from the early 2000s. And then YouTube hooks, similar to a cold open, and I say just 30 to 90 seconds supposedly. Seems like 30, or what I've heard, I guess, enough. And was it in my head is you have about half a minute to a minute and a half to get people interested or see if they fall off. And so in the first, minute and a half ish, the cold open, the hook, it needs to validate the thumbnail, meaning, you have a scary thumbnail, you need a scary movie. Equals, I guess I should do that, but I do this for specific reasons. It introduces the problem. So, cannibals in the woods equals people in the woods are gonna get eaten. So, cannibals, I was thinking of Wrong Turn. It makes a promise. I don't know if this is necessarily, I guess it makes a promise that you're watching a horror movie, or whatever it is your problem is, but I would imagine that's what the validation is here, if the thumbnail looks scary, you're going to watch thumbnail. If it looks, something else, I don't know. This might be able to just be crossed out. Was it Command S for strike? Nope. Oh well. Cross that out. We'll think about that one. And it creates an unanswered question. So, just to keep things consistent, I guess we'll go back to Cannibals in the Woods. In Wrong Turn, their cold open, I think, is roughly 3 minutes-ish, give or take. I don't think you actually see the cannibals or anything, but you do see that the people, there's like 2 climbers in the woods, and they get attacked. You do see that it was... Where am I going with this? That there was like... I think there was like a bar, like that wire. Anywho, you could tell it wasn't supernatural. Some kind of humans doing something. So, you validate its horror because, oh shit, now we're scared, something's after us, or our friend just got eaten and now we're probably next. You introduce the problem, some kind of monster or cannibal or something. The promise, again, I'll probably delete this. And then you create an unanswered question. That could be, who are these people? Are they going to attack our hero, which we'll introduce after the cold open? Introduce a hero. Wife and kids and I have been watching a lot of Charmed lately, because at the dollar DVD, I think it's DVD, Blu-ray, but all of it, half-price books, a couple weeks ago did, dollar everything. And my wife likes Charmed, and she picked a couple of seasons up for $1, so that was pretty awesome. And they're about 44 minutes an episode, and they always start out with a cold open, like a lot of shows do. I should probably analyze one of those episodes. But yeah, it's, the cold opening, and then it cuts to, we introduce, which, if you're in 5 seasons, you already know who the heroes are. But, you cold open, and then it goes to one of the witches. Typically, I guess sometimes I think it always goes to one of the witches first. It doesn't go cold open and then one of the bad guys. And then you kind of build up context. build the setup slash context. I tried to color code these with this, and then, build an emotional investment before the transformation. Transformation, like what happens, I guess. These are rough notes. These were taken this morning. I've also been cross-referencing with some of the stuff. I have notes from when I went through Screenwriting 101, which I should have had pulled up because I always forget that guy's name. It's really good, though. Here's some notes I have for that, and I'm trying to use that to help build out this part here and things like that. And then you're like, well, why do you have this back here? Because this was fun to shoot, fun to play around with the camera again, and actually start working on something. But it was no plan or no structure. If I go here and I go slug line, slug line, you can see the script. No, I didn't save the script. Never mind. I'll start a script. I try not to save it unless it's going somewhere. So I guess I didn't save that script, but there wasn't much to it. It didn't have anything really fleshed out, and I didn't use it when we were shooting. I just was like, well, I think this is generally going to happen. So yeah, it's fun little bits here and there, but not much to it. Also, I don't know if anyone likes those little tip videos, but I created a playlist for DaVinci Resolve tips and Blender tips, and I think the next DaVinci tip is going to be working with shortcuts, because like I'm watching some of this stuff, right, and I've got this one, I've already got my in and out set here, but I want to drag it into the timeline, but I don't want to do that. Maybe I want to drag it into one of these, and if at least the way that I cut, I kind of cut together something roughly and tighten it up later, just a pin to end. I don't want to be dragging over here, dragging over there, doing all that because I'm lazy. I don't have a full keyboard. I just have the keyboard on the laptop. So I just go function, I think it's function shift 12, and you can see it appends it right at the end. Even if my playhead or whatever is somewhere else, I can just come over here, go J a little bit, pause, O for out, and then just function shift 12, boom, right there. And that's really nice. There's also other ones, like you can go along the pages here, just go by going, is it command 1? No, is it just 1? No, is it shift 1? Yep, shift 1 through 8. So really, shift 4 through, 5. No, it takes a minute on that one. So forth. 7, 8, 6. All the important ones. And then I was going to also look at ripple delete and JKL, obviously. Try to put together a little useful short video for myself, just remembering all these keys so that I don't have to be like dragging things around everywhere. I can just do stuff like that. You can also do like shift space, so I can do stuff like that, where I can go maybe a title. Yeah, that's a lot nicer, I think, than coming up here and like, effects tab, go, search through here, because I already filter anyway. I mean, sometimes I'll browse just to see what there is, but instead of coming up here and changing all this all the time, just shift space. And that also matches with if I go shift, where are we at? 5, shift space here. I can also look for, like a merge node or whatever. So trying to learn how to become more efficient with my tools, and then hopefully sharing whatever I figure out on YouTube, because that's my thing, I think. So learn and share. So this project probably not going to go anywhere. It's fun, figured out a few things, but and that's what I'm trying to do here. Is I'm trying to figure out things, because there's a lot of stuff I'm just not totally loving with the results end of my videos. I've been enjoying the little things I've been learning here and there, but the end result is not awesome. So need to work on that. So this month I'm trying to work on story. That's why I'm taking notes and stuff, trying to come up with how to structure things, how to make a story, and how to get more consistent at working at writing and things. Because I have lots of random ideas, but then they come and they get stored away in my, somewhere in my brain. Sometimes I write them down because I'm like, ooh, that one's a good one. But most of the time they just kind of sit there doing nothing in my head. And then sometimes I'll try to work on them. And I'll be like, nah, that's not that good. So I need to work on taking ideas and actually structuring them and writing things out and working through them. And I've always been a fan of, or I don't know if I've been always, but it seems like for a while. Because I'm pretty sure Edgar Allan Poe has said it. Stephen King has said something similar. Everyone's kind of got these lines. Like, you have some artists and like, oh, I'll write when I'm inspired or paint when I'm inspired. And I was like, oh no, you got to do it, more consistently. And I obviously haven't been the best at that, but I found this quote recently. It's, I write only when inspiration strikes. Fortunately, it strikes every morning at 9 o'clock. And that's W. Somerset, novelist / screenplay, or it's not screenplay, like scripts for like stage, I think, back in the day. Found that randomly. Where was I going? So I'm going to try, the idea behind that is I want to become more consistent on stuff. I've generally gotten rid of social media the last couple of years, but the one platform I have not gotten rid of, and I'm not going to because it's the platform I'm posting this on and everything else, is YouTube. But sometimes I do find myself just aimlessly scrolling through YouTube. So instead of doing that, I need to recognize, because I know what I'm doing. I'm scrolling through. I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm not looking for anything. I'm just scrolling through shit, trying to hope that the algorithm gives me something. Sometimes it does. A lot of times it doesn't. So I'm going to try to get better with my time and get more organized, I guess is what I'm getting at, and actually write. So I'll try to write 30 minutes to an hour a day, hopefully. Right now I've got that time. A month from now, who knows. So yeah, I'm going to try to do that. I need to be working on an editing project for someone. So I need to get a little more focused on how I'm going to be doing that. And that's also why I'm going to try to put some I'm going to learn more DaVinci Resolve shortcuts and post stuff on that, because it's a longer project. So editing bigger projects, I think it'd be handy to speed things up a bit. And then I'm also going to share some more Blender stuff, because I'm going to be working on trying to get previs and stuff. How long is this? This is 13 minutes. Sorry, I've been rambling a bit. So yeah, the update is just structure. Try to actually sit down and do something useful. Today I did sit down and I was watching stuff, not random YouTube junk, but like an actual structured content created by Real Studio. And I have hit and miss. Sometimes like, is this useful? Because sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm reverse engineering it, and then I get into it a little bit, and then I'm like, maybe I'm not paying as much attention to reverse engineering. I'm just kind of enjoying it or something. So I'm like, oh, that's not good. Well, I mean, that's good, but it's like, I don't know. Then I'm not reverse engineering or deconstructing. So I don't know if that's really work time or just watch time. But anywho, yeah, rambly video. Oh, my next one will be more structured. But yeah. That's what I'm working on. So, see ya in the next video. Watch your next video. And then I'll, get some more stuff up. I'm all over the place, sorry. But anywho. Yeah. That's the other problem. I just get off work sometimes and then I feel like I'm like blah. So I need to figure out how to get unblawed and get focused again. So, anyways, ta-ta for now.